Welcome to another Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I am your instructor, Richard Rost. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build a help desk trouble ticket system in Microsoft Access. Today's question comes from Bryce in Independence, Missouri, one of my Platinum members. Bryce says, I run a tech support call center help desk. Right now, we're just using email to track everything, and it's a mess. I bet it is. Can you show me how to put together a database to track tickets so we can get a list of what's open, what's closed, what still needs to be billed, and so on? It would also be nice if we could sort them by priority. If this guy's whole system is down, he should get first priority. If that guy's speakers are making a funny noise, he can wait. That kind of stuff. Well, sure, Bryce. Let's go ahead and let's run through this real quick. First up, a couple of prerequisites. You should know relationships because we're going to have to make some different relationships between multiple tables. So go watch my relationships video first if you haven't already. It's free. It's on my website right there or on my YouTube channel. I'll put links down below in the description down below the video. Go click on those. You should also know how to make continuous forms, relational combo boxes. That's where you use a combo box to pick a value from a different table. All right. And I also recommend go watch my invoicing video. It's free, again. But a lot of the same concepts that we're going to cover now also work with invoicing. Whether you're doing an order form and the order details and relating that to a customer, or whether you're tracking vehicles, or whether you're tracking tickets and ticket detail items, it's all pretty much the same stuff. Working with Access is like playing with Legos, like I always say. I'm just going to show you how to put different parts together, okay? And you can arrange them any way that you want. So we'll do pretty much the same thing we did in the invoicing video here. I'm going to add a couple little extra things to the people who've already watched invoicing. But go watch that first if you can, and then come back to this one, okay? Okay, so here I am in my Tech Help free template. This is a free database download. You can grab it off my website. And if you watch the invoicing video, then you've got a copy of this already. So I'm going to use this to modify because it's a lot of the groundwork's already done. The database is already built. We got tables and forms we can use. So let's add the tables that we need for our ticketing. Lots of people always say, well, what tables do I need to put together? Well, tables are important. And like I always say in my Access Beginner 1 course, you should lay out your tables first on paper. But these are pretty straightforward. So let's go to Table Design. All right, we're going to do our ticketing table first, the overall ticket. Okay, so we got the ticket ID. That's our auto number, our primary key. We have a customer ID, which is a number of type long integer. That's our foreign key, so we can relate this back to a customer. Okay. We've got created date, the date that it was created, and I'll use a default value down here of equals date. If you want to the minute, to the second, put now in there and said, I'm just, date's fine. Maybe a due date, which is optional, okay? You know, if it's just get to it whenever, then leave due date blank. If it's like this guy has to have his system fixed by Wednesday, it's due then I put a due date in there. Now, we're going to make a couple of helper tables. We're going to do priority and status. So I'm going to put a priority ID in here. That'll also be a number, right? That'll be the priority, low, medium, high, for example, okay? And that way we can sort them by priority, get the urgent ones done first. Then we'll also do a status ID. We'll make a separate status table. That'll be a number as well. Status will be things like active, escalated, canceled, completed, invoiced, that kind of stuff. Waiting on the client. Okay, I don't know. I used to do tech support back in the 90s. I don't know how many times I had to wait on the client, right? You put something in there, you tell them what to do, you say, okay, go try this and come back. Of course, this was before the internet was big, so it would always be, okay, I'll go try that and then I'll call you back. So I put waiting on client there, and if it sat waiting on client for 2 or 3 days, assume it's good. Then, of course, we have a description, which will be short text, and then notes, which will be long text. Okay, an overall description, and then some, big notes, whatever you want to put down here. Okay, let's save this as this will be my ticket T. It'll be the master table, okay, the parent table, if you will. Now we're going to make a ticket detail T, just like orders have orders and order details, right? The order table is the overall stuff about the whole order, the customer, the date it was placed, that kind of stuff. The order details are the line items, right? He bought a mouse, he bought a keyboard, 2 hours of service. So our ticket detail will be all the different things that you did for this ticket, right? Because you might have to, phone call today, an on-site visit tomorrow, and then when it's all done, you bill the whole ticket. At least that's how we used to do it back in the day. So let's close this, and we'll create another table. Create table design. We're going to have a ticket detail ID. That's our auto number, and this will relate back to a ticket. Okay, there's our foreign key, primary key, foreign key. Okay. Now, we've got the service date, time, if you want to. Put a date and time in there. And I'll default this to now. So that's to the minute. So if you're on the phone with him, you type in, okay, he just called, boom. The time goes in there as well, date and time. Whereas the overall ticket, the date it was opened is fine. All right. Again, a description. Short text is fine. If you want to put notes for each item, that's up to you. That's, you can put notes in here too. Okay. And then the hours. How many hours are you going to bill for this? Okay, this will be a number, and I'm going to set this to type double. All right, of all these different types that are in here, I pretty much almost always use long integer or double. Okay, long integer for numbers that don't need a floating point, double for things that do. Those are my two go-to ones. Yeah, there's byte and integer and single and decimal. Okay, don't worry about replication ID. But just stick to long integer and double. For 99% of databases, that's all you need. You don't got to worry about single bytes unless you're doing a gigantic database with tons and tons of data, and every byte counts. With today's hard drives, just trust me. Long integer and double. All right, double if it's a floating point. Default value, I'm going to make that 1. By default, everything gets billed. Well, let's say by default, everything gets billed in 15-minute increments. So if you don't put anything in there, it's 0.25. Right, 0.25 of an hour. Okay, see how that works? All right, if it's going to be changed, put in there, every phone call is 15 minutes by default, unless they change it. Okay, or you can even change this to minutes, whatever you want to do. All right. Now, you also have to be careful because, hour by itself is a reserved word. So I'm going to change this. Upon second thought, I'm going to make this billable hours. Because you might be on the phone with them for, half an hour and only bill them for 10 minutes. That's up to you, and if you want to get fired. Or if it's a good customer. All right, so save this. This will be my ticket detail T, my ticket detail table. Primary key, yes, there it goes. All right, and now I like to put some sample data in. All right, so let's take a look at my customer table real quick. We got customers 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm customer 1, Jim Kirk's customer 2. Just so I know what I'm dealing with. All right, so tickets. Okay, so customer 1 called on today, 1/9/22. No due date. Priority, we're going to make the priority table in a minute. We're going to go with low, medium, high, and urgent. So let's say this one is medium priority. We'll go 2. And status, we're going to have active, waiting on client, escalate, a bunch of other ones. Let's say active is 1, so we'll put a 1 in there. Okay, description, what's my problem? My problem is computer won't start. All right, probably don't have to capitalize. Won't start. Okay, notes, don't worry about that. That's optional. All right, ticket 2, let's say it's for customer 3. Who's customer 3? Customer 3 is, Deanna Troy, she calls up. All right, so 3. All right, and we're actually typing in one that's a couple days old, so this is from 1/7. All right, same priority, same status, and she has can't hear computer's thoughts or whatever. Yeah, I'm silly, I know. Okay, so there's my 2 tickets that I have in the system, and let's put in some ticket details. All right, ticket details. So now, ticket 1, okay, all right, spoke on phone, gave tips. All right, told some stuff to try, and this was a half an hour. Okay, then someone called in, or then Deanna called in. So ticket 2, all right, complained about PC, whatever. All right, and that was an hour because she can talk. Okay, then she called back again. All right, more chat, blah blah blah, 15 minutes. All right, then I called back in, so I'm ticket 1. See how this works? Okay, problem resolved, and then you'll change the status, whatever. Okay, so I like to have some sample data. There's my ticket, right? Ticket 1, and then there's ticket 2. See how this works? And if you watched my my invoicing database, I go into this a lot more detail how this relates back together again. All right, save changes to that. Save changes to that. Now let's put together the helper tables. So create table design. Let's do the priority table first. So we have a priority ID. auto number, and a description. Okay, save this as my priority table. Okay, and what are we going to have in here? We've got priorities. We got low, medium, high, and urgent. Okay, those are our priorities. That'll be in a combo box on the ticket. Okay, then we'll create another table, and this will be the status ID, auto number, and a description. Save it. Status T. Primary key, yes. Put some data in here. All right, what's our statuses? We got status of, we got active, right? Brand new open one. We've got waiting on client. We've got escalated, if you got to send this up the chain, right? That way you can have a tech who, like your level 2 techs, will just look at the escalated stuff first, right? Canceled, right? I don't like deleting tickets at all, ever, so I don't let people delete tickets. They can mark them canceled. That way they're still in the system. We don't want our frontline users deleting data, ever. Orders get canceled. Customers get marked inactive. You don't delete stuff. I got a whole separate video on why you shouldn't delete data. You do what's called a soft delete. You mark it as deleted. Okay? I have a whole video on it. I'll put a link to that video down below. You should watch it. It's pretty good. All right, then after cancel, we got closed. In other words, it's done. Customer's happy. Then we got invoiced. That's the final step, because you want to be able to go through all your closed stuff and then bill those customers for that time. That way you know everything's, it's active, then it's closed, and then invoiced. All right, in a proper procedure. But you can mark them all this way. Okay, so there's our status tables. All right. Now, one of the nice things about having my blank template here, my default template, is I got a lot of this work's already done. We can repurpose the order form, right, and the order detail form for our tickets. Just use pretty much the same stuff that we already have built. All right, so let's go ahead and take the order form. I'm going to copy this and paste it. Control-C, Control-V. I'm going to call this my ticket form. Okay, and we're going to edit this guy. We're going to design view. And we're going to change this so we're working with tickets instead. I'm going to delete the subform right now. Delete. All right, let's open up the properties. We're going to change the record source to the ticket T. Okay, now when you do that, you're going to notice some of the fields are okay, like description, customer ID. These are all the same. All right, these ones are the same. This one's the same. Is pay we don't need. We don't have any yes, no values, do we? No, we can get rid of that. Okay, but notes, description, and customer ID are all in that table. That's why I like to keep the same field names between my tables. All right, there's no problem with having a customer ID in multiple other tables and forms. Same thing with description, same thing with notes. Okay. Now, order ID can become ticket ID. All right, just go to your control source, drop this down, ticket ID. Now, don't forget to change it there and up here in the name too, ticket ID, and then change this guy, ticket ID. Okay, notice the little green thingy goes away. Okay, order date is now, let's go with created date. All right, drop this guy down and go with created date right there. Copy, paste, created date. And we have one more date too. So I'll copy this guy, copy, paste, slide up there, down, and this will be the other date, which will be the due date. Copy. I forgot one too. Oop, wrong spot. I forgot. We can put a closed date in there if you want to. That's sometimes handy for metrics, right? All right, let's do that too. So closed, or this is due date. All right, let's put a close date in there. I'm going to save this. All right, I wasn't thinking. You should probably also track when it's closed. Let's go back to our table. Ticketing T, design view, right? And I'm going to put close date. Date time. And I like to keep all my like stuff together. So I'm going to put this right under due date. Yeah, so I moved it. Click, drag, right? Cover that in Access Beginner 1. If you haven't watched my Access Beginner 1 class, go watch it. It's free. It's 4 hours long. It teaches you all the basics. All right, back to my form. Back to my ticket form, design view. And we need another date in here, don't we? So copy, paste. This will be now the closed date. Okay, copy, paste. Okay, now I'm going to save this invoice button. We're not going to do it now. I might do it in the extended cut for the members, but I'm going to make a button where you just click the button and it puts all this into an order. Pops it into an order for the the person. We'll do that in the extended cut, perhaps. Description, I'm going to slide over here. All right, there's the description. And the customer can be right underneath that. Okay, and then notes can go like there. Yeah, these are overall notes about the whole ticket. Okay, looks pretty good so far. Slide this invoicing button down here. We're going to put the subform here for the ticket information. Now, I don't like my forms looking like each other, so let's change this background color just a little bit. Let's go from green. Let's make our ticketing system yellow. How's that look? It's not too bad. I don't know if I'm happy with that. Let's go with dark blue. Yeah, let's go with dark blue. Or something else dark blue. I don't know. I don't think so. Customers are what? Customers are light blue. Yeah, we can go dark blue. Let's go dark blue for our ticketing system. I like to have everything kind of like, everything gets its own kind of color. Like all the ordering stuff is green. All the customer stuff's that light blue. We have to change the foreground color of our labels here just a little bit. So it's readable. There we go. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Save it. Close it. Let's open it up. Take a peek. All right, everything looks good. I think description needs more space, though. Let's do a little rearranging. Let's move the dates out of here for a minute. Let's put description here. Slide customer ID up, and description can come across that whole field like that. Yeah, that looks better. Then we can put our dates below it. Now let's put the dates back over here. And then the notes can go over here. You just want to make it so it's nice and friendly for your users. That looks a lot better. I like that better. And we got room down here for the ticket. All right, save that. Let's see what it looks like now. Okay, good. Maybe bold this. Okay, much better. Beautiful. Okay, let's do the details. So let's close this. I know we got more fields to put on here. I know. I'm getting there. Thanks. Thank you for raising your hand and reminding me. Okay, let's do the ticket details. So I'm going to borrow my order detail F, copy, paste, ticket detail F. All right, let's open you up. Do the same kind of thing. Design view. Let's start with our colors here. Let's change this background color first. That, and I'll select these guys and make them white. Okay. So this one has the ticket detail ID. We got to change where we're getting our data from here. Let's change this to the ticket detail T right there. All right. A lot of these fields change now. So we've got the ticket detail ID, which is this thing here. That's going to be the order detail ID. Is going to go to the ticket detail ID. Change that. And again, remember from the other class, we don't need to see the ticket detail ID. We just need to have it on the form. This is the ticket ID. Right, that's our foreign key. We'll change that. Okay, notes is the same. Now up here, we've got the service date time and the description. So let's do the time first over here. So we'll change this one to service date time, copy, paste. And this doesn't need to be quite that big. Let's slide it to about there. All right, we'll call this date time. Oh yeah, change our background color. Let's go to that. Okay. Then next up is the description field. So I'll make this in here. We can get rid of that because we don't need extended price. This will be hours, and I'll slide that over there. All right, so this will be description. And then hours. So that will be description. Copy, paste, and left align that, description. Yeah, I often find it's easier to just repurpose other forms than to make new forms from scratch all the time. And this one will be the hours. Where do you go? Billable hours, right there. Copy, paste, and the label can just say hours. Now you are going to be the sum of the billable hours. So this will be the sum of billable hours. And I'll just copy that much of it there. Put in here. That. Save it. Let's close it and take a peek, see what we got. All right, looks good. Oh, that alternating background color. I forgot about that. Design view. Right there. Alternate background color, no color. And one more pet peeve that I have is this stupid thing. I think that, and I've suggested this to Microsoft, they need to move this little box here, the date picker, instead of blocking the next field, move it over the date field. That's what it should do. Now, for this, I don't think we need to be able to pick a calendar date. This is going to be something automatically filled in, so I'm going to turn it off. Show date picker, never. Save it, close it, open it up. Looks good. In fact, I'm going to make this a tad wider because if we get a longer date in here, it won't fit. So design view. Let's shrink this down just a wee bit and make this just a wee bit bigger. Save it, close it, take a peek. Okay, looks good. Let's left align the date. Click, format, left, save, close, and looks good. Okay, and we got all our fields for this one in here, right? We got the description. How's our tab order? Tab order is fine. We got notes down below if you need bigger notes. We got the total down here, but this should not be formatted as currency. It was currency in the last table, so that's an easy fix. Click, and we'll just get rid of that format. Delete. Let's go decimal places 2. Save it, close it, open it back up again. All right, looks good. And if you want to force it to be in 2 decimal places, do this. Go design view, pick both of these, go for the format, and go 0.00. That'll make sure you've got that in there as a fixed like that. It's the same thing as fixed. 0.00. Okay. Let's put this inside of this. We'll drop it right inside of there. All right, so design view. Close you up. Click, drag, drop. That's all you got to do to put a subform inside of that one. If you don't know much about subforms, I do have a whole separate video. I just finished recording it. I had an older tip video on subforms that was, it got me by. It was old. It was like 2009 old. So I just redid that as a tech help a little while ago. I'll put a link to the subforms video in the list of links down below too. You can go watch that if you want to. Go learn more about subforms. Probably should have had that in the prerequisites, but I'm pretty sure that the subforms video is a prerequisite of the invoicing video. That's why I don't always list all of the prerequisites, because by the time you watch invoicing, you got to watch its prerequisites. So I know, yeah, there's like a million other things before it. Let's widen this out just so it's all uniform like that. We'll shrink you a little bit. I'm going to save this invoicing button for the members later. We got some more fields to put up here too, don't we? So let's save this. Let's close it. And let's take another peek at it. All right, looks pretty good. I'm liking it so far. There's ticket 1. There's ticket 2. See how the relationship is made automatically by that subform? I don't like the subform wizard. I never use it. But notice the link master and child fields changed the ticket ID. When you dropped in that subform, it saw that there was a ticket ID on both of these fields. Forms, excuse me. And I forgot to change you to closed. Okay, got a couple of combo boxes to make now. The fields we're missing are priority and status. So let's do this here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take the notes and slide it over here. You want to take big notes about the entire ticket like that. Nothing wrong with that, right? Well, maybe make it about that big. Okay, now I got more room in here for more combo boxes. Let's move the description down and slide these dates up like that, and 2. And now I got more room in here for more combo boxes. Okay. This is all about aesthetics, and like I said, I've got whole other videos on form design aesthetics too. There's all kinds of stuff you can do to make your forms look cool. We got 2 combo boxes coming. Find the combo box guy. I do like the combo box wizard. The combo box wizard is a good wizard. Okay, so I'm going to look up the values from table Requery. And again, this is the relational combo box video that you should have watched. Let's do priority first. Priority T. Bring over both fields. Let's sort by priority ID. I want them in the order that I put them in the table. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next. All right, they're going to show up in this order now. Low, medium, high, urgent. They just, hey, see here. Yeah, you don't want these alphabetical. This might, let's leave it like this. I was going to say, you might want to even show the key, but no, let's leave the key hidden. All right, that looks good. Next, sort or store that in priority, right? And then the label priority. Okay, there we go. Slide you out like that. Move you under there. And change that color. See, nice and fast. All right, one more. Format design, combo box. We need to do the status the same way. All right, same thing. Next, status T. Next, bring them both over. This one we're going to sort by description. Next. Yeah, we'll do it like that. Because they could happen in any order, really. Next. And then store that in the status ID. That's the status ID of the ticket table. Status. Slide over there. Slide you under there. Make it white so we can read it. Whoop, wrong one. Undo. Click. There we go. Okay. Save it. All right, let's close this. Let's open it back up again. All right, looks pretty good. Pretty good. I'm thinking let's put default values in for these boxes too, because if we go to a new one now, we need default priority and a default status. So let's go back to the table. Default status is going to be, where's my status list? Status 1 will be active, so that default value there will be 1. And the default priority is going to be medium 2. There. And I am going to do it so that when you open up a ticket, it will start you on the description field. Okay, so let's go into design view again. And let's change the tab order. Let's auto order first. Oh, I got, and now see this, I always like to check my tab order. I got combo 19, combo 21. I do this a lot. I'll build a combo box or drop a button in, and I'll forget to give it a good name. Is combo 19 a good name? No, I can't tell what that is looking at it. So don't forget, take a tip from Alex. All right, Alex is my number one, and you got to put in here a valid name. Now you could call this priority ID if you want to. I like to call it priority combo. The reason why is because a lot of people ask me this. Why don't you just call it priority ID? The reason why is because when you're doing programming, sometimes if it's priority combo, you know you can handle a combo differently. A lot of my tips and things I tell you to do, I don't always explain at the beginner level because you won't get it. But when you're writing VBA code, if it's a priority ID, I know that it's a number of type long integer, and I have to treat it like a text box. If I see that it's priority combo, now I can know that I can access its columns. In VBA, I can do all kinds of different things because it's a combo box. It's still that ID, but it's a combo box. Okay, and I can mess with it differently. And I don't have to stop and go, okay, wait a minute, was that a text box or a combo box? All right, so this is going to be my status combo. Just dropping random tips. That's what these tech help videos are all about, folks. Just random stuff, just off the top of my head. I'll get used to it. No. All right, so now let's go back to what we were doing a minute ago. Let's go back to our tab order. Click, view, tab order. There we are. Okay, so we're going to start the tab order with the description. But I still want the rest of this stuff in the tab order. But when we open up, I want to, boom, start on description. So where's description? Right there. Pull up at the top, description. Now, after I'm here at description and I hit tab, I want to go into the subform. Okay, so that's going to be the ticket detail F. So that's going to be next. Right, I'm going to type in this and then drop right into here to start typing stuff in. But if the user clicks on any one of these things to change them, I want the rest of the tab order to behave normally. So ticket ID, customer combo is fine. Actually, let's go down, across, down, over to notes. How's that sound? So we're going to go to created date next after ticket ID, then due date. So I'm moving these. Then close date. All right, now we'll go tab, 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 come over here. Customer IDs next, customer combo, priority combo, status combo, notes over here. All right, and then we'll drop back to description. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the invoice button out of the tab order. We'll see that in a second. And I'm going to make it so it cycles on the same record instead of moving to the next record. I hate that. All right, and I don't often change that as much as I should. So let's make it so that this is not a tab stop. Okay, which is on other, and then tab stop set it to no. So as you're tabbing, tab, 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 you'll never get there. Okay, and likewise for the form properties, find cycle and change that to current record. That way when you tab, 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 it'll just go back to the top of the same record. All right, save it, close it, and let's see what I'm talking about. So I open it up and it started me right on description. Okay, so if I go to a new record, for example, we're going to open a blank record from the customer form. If I go to a new one, all right, and I type in blah, 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 I'm going to tab, and that's going to put me right down in here. And in fact, in here, I'm just going to set it so that description and hours are the only two things that are tab stops. But let's continue. So tab, 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 tab. And these are off a little. No, they're right. But I'm going to take date time out of there. Because usually you just want to type in stuff and have this be automatic. All right. But if the user does click up here, it's going to go tab, 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 and back to the description. Okay. That's exactly what I wanted. Let's change this design view so that you are no longer a tab stop. There. Save it, close it, open you up, tab, goes right into there. See? Okay, we're cooking with gas. We're good now. Another thing I mentioned earlier, I don't want to allow users to delete stuff out of here. Okay, no deleting this, no deleting these. They can set hours to 0 if they want to cancel something out down here, but you got to mark this as canceled. So how do I do that? Well, right click, design view. We're going to go to the properties for the form, go to data, allow deletions is no. And in here too, you got to click once for the subform object, click a second time for the properties for the subform, allow deletions there are no as well. So now they cannot delete anything from the ticketing system. Okay, open it up. Whoop, open it up. Okay, if I click on this and go delete, no, can't do it, sorry. No longer valid, well, mark it canceled. Okay, okay, all right, same thing down in here, click. Oh, can't do it, sorry. Okay, all right. Okay, so next up, we need a way to open a new ticket for the customer. So what we're going to do is go to the customer form, right click, design view, and I'm going to put a button down here to open up that form and go to a blank new record. Okay. Now you can't do this with the button wizard. All right, if you come in here, you can go form operations, open a form, next. Pick the form you want, like the ticket F, next. All right, we can open the form and show all records or find specific data to display. So I could find the records for the current customer, but I want to go to a new record. There's no way to do that with this wizard. Okay, so you can either write a macro or you can use a little bit of VBA. I like VBA. I really don't like macros. You should learn a little VBA. Now, I didn't make this a prerequisite, okay, but I'm going to tell you now, pause the video if you can, and go watch my intro to VBA video. It's free, again, absolutely free. But I think about 20 minutes long, half hour, just to teach you the little tiny basics. We're going to need like just a couple of lines of VBA code. But watch this. It'll give you all the background you need first, okay? How to, where to put it, how to start it. I'm going to show you right now, but yeah, I should have made this a prerequisite, but it's not really, because you don't really need to do this. But this is one of those things where it's like, if once you learn a little teeny tiny bit of VBA, Access becomes so much more powerful. It opens up a whole new world of stuff. All right, which is a couple lines of code. Couple lines of code. Couple lines of code. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to borrow one of these buttons. Copy, paste, slide it down under here. All right, let's call this one new ticket. All right, let's give the button a good name. Double click on it and come in here instead of command 32. Let's call this new ticket button. Okay. Now we're going to put some code in the button. Right click on it. Come up to build event. You might get a little window popping up saying, what kind of builder do you want? Pick the code builder. I talk about that in the intro to VBA. All right, and right in here, we're going to put a little bit of code. All right, I want to open up that form, but I want to open it up to add a new record. So here's how we're going to do it. Do command .open form. What's the form name? Ticket F, comma. We're going to view it in the normal, regular way. So comma, no filter, comma, no where condition, comma. Data mode is going to be AC form add. I want to add a new record. Okay? So that's it. That's all you got to do. Do command open form, ticket F, comma, 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 AC format, pick it from the list. And you can see some of the other open form commands up here. This one opens up the contacts for this customer. This one opens up the orders for this customer. We're going to do something similar with the ticket thing in just a minute, but I want to do this first. Okay? All right. Save this. Let's shut that. Close this. Go to the customer form. Click on new ticket. Boom. There we are. New ticket. See? We're at new. All this stuff defaults. This was set as a default value in the invoicing video that we watched, right? This combo box, right? It gets a default value right here. Forms, customer F, customer ID. That's how to get a value from another open form. So the customer form's got to be open for this to pull that default value in. All right, I have another video that teaches you how to do this. I'll put it down below. It's called the form name video. Okay, it's in the links section down below. See, this is why I have my regular course series, right? My beginner 1, 2, 3, expert, all those, my regular courses, because I teach you things in the proper order there. If you're just coming into this video and you haven't watched my previous stuff, then you're like, well, I got to go watch this other one first. I got to go watch that. Yeah, it gets a little confusing, I know. But in order to do this, you kind of have to know stuff before it. It's like when you go to like a college class, right? If you're going to take calculus, you got to know arithmetic and algebra first before you can learn calculus. It's the same thing here. There's prerequisites. You got to learn stuff before you can learn other stuff. This is a little more advanced. That's why in my regular courses, I teach you things in the order that I think you need to learn them instead of jumping around like this. All right? That's the tech help videos, though, is to jump around and teach weird, different stuff. Okay? All right, so now I got a button that I can click on. Boom. And then I'm ready to enter in a new ticket. I'm going to slide this over here like that. Yeah. Save it. When you move a form around and hit save, Control S, it saves its location. See, if I open it up again, boom, it opens up over here now. And yes, I've got VBA code where you can control exactly where the form opens up on the screen and blah, 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 blah. That's a lot more advanced. But now I'm ready to say, okay, called for on-site service visit, tab, went to office, charging him 3 hours, right? Called for follow-up, charge him for 0.25 hours. And if you want to put notes on either of these things, like here, went to office, this is the notes that's bound to that. This is the notes that's bound to the overall ticket. Okay, so in here, you could put in here, 5-mile drive, blah, 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 whatever, about that particular thing. The call for follow-up, said everything is working okay, blah, 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 blah. All right, and over here, if you want to put, directions or whatever that is, pertaining to the entire ticket. That's the difference between those two notes fields. Okay, so right. Okay, so next we're going to make a form that lists all of the tickets in the system. So your people can just open it up and say, okay, what do we got to do, right? Okay. Now to do that, we're going to make a query to bring everything together. Okay, so create, query design. Shut this down. We're going to bring in the ticket T. We don't need the ticket details in this, just the ticket T, and then of course it's helper data. So we need the priority table, we need the status table, and let's bring in the customer table too. Okay, so this is the stuff you want to see on your summary form. Okay, I want to see the ticket ID. I want to see the created date and the due date. I want to see the priority, but I don't want the priority ID. I want the priority description, but I don't want it called description. I want it called priority. That's called making an alias. It's description, but it's description from the priority table, and I'm going to call it priority right here. And if you run it now, you'll see what I'm talking about. See, you just get the word medium. Now, this is not editable. You can't change it. All right. In fact, one of the big things that people always do is they make these big, gigantic, complicated queries with all these joins, and they're like, why can't I change things? Well, you can't edit that. It's brought in front of the table. If you wanted that to be editable, you'd have to bring in the ID and make a combo box out of it, which I'm not going to do. Okay, this is just for display purposes. It's when you see something on the store on the shelf, is this for display purposes only? Yeah, this query is for display purposes only. All right, same thing with the status now. Bring in the status description, But I don't want to call it description. I want to call it status. Make an alias, status. Right. So now instead of priority t dot description and status t dot description or whatever, I've got that. And it looks much nicer and it's much better. Okay. So what else do you want in here? The description can come in. That's the actual description of the ticket, which I'll bring to the left. Try to keep all this stuff in the same table together. And I want to see the customer. I'm going to bring in first name and last name together, but I want them displayed in the same field. So I'm going to say over here, I'm going to say the customer is going to be first name and a space and a last name. That. And it should get the fields because there's only one table in here that has first name and last name. Let's see. Yep, it worked. If you had multiple tables in here that had first name and last name, you'd have to say customer t dot first name, customer t dot last name. But since this table is the only one that has fields called first name and last name, Access guesses it correctly. There we go. All right, these are all the fields that I need for my ticketing table. So I'm going to save this as my ticket list queue, my ticket list query. Okay. Now I can use this to build a status form. So how do we do that? Well, it's going to be a continuous form. Let's borrow another continuous form. What do we got in here that looks good? Let's do I think the customer list form, this guy. Yeah, that's a good form. We can repurpose this one. All right, so let's copy this guy, customer list form, copy, paste, and I build that, I think, in the blank database or the contact management one. One of the prerequisites for the invoicing video. See, like I said, that's why, you got to know what the prerequisites are. All right, so this is going to be my ticket list F. And let's design U. All right, first off, let's work on the colors. Change the colors, people. I don't like them. All right, so this guy, we'll use the same recent colors. That one. And this background color. We'll go back to that. Change the alternate background color, which I hate. No color. I got to change the template so it's no color. Sick of doing that all the time. All right, now let's set these guys up. We'll open this up. We'll change the, let's go to the All tab here. We'll change the record source to the ticket list queue so we have our helper data. Okay, and then we just got to change our fields around. But first, a word from our sponsor. And who's the sponsor? Well, that's me. I'm my sponsor. Just a real quick promo. Just, I got to do it, right? If you haven't yet watched my free access level 1 video, go watch it now. It's great. It's 4 hours long, covers all the basics. If you like all this stuff with, the subforms and the combo boxes and reporting and you name it, I got 32 levels of access expert classes. There's 9 beginner, there's 32 expert, and there's a whole bunch of developer stuff with programming. But the expert series is what covers all the cool stuff, all the nuts and bolts and the nitty gritty. Okay? And like I said earlier, I cover things in the right order. So you're not confused jumping around between different videos. We follow Expert 1, then Expert 2, it's on relationships. Expert 3, we can learn a little bit of SQL, form filter totals. Expert 4, we go over more form controls. So I teach you the things in the order you need to learn them. So come to my website. There's the address right there. You'll find links down below in the link section. I got a membership program you can sign up for if you want to. You get a 50% discount. If you want to learn more past that, you can sign up for the developer classes. I got lots and lots of those too, where I teach you VBA programming, all kinds of stuff. Come to my website, accesslearningszone.com. Yeah, I know I got this little short URL there, 599cd.com. That was my old thing, but I kept it because it's nice and small, and it works for all my links. So come to my website, check it out. All right, let's get back to the class. Got to throw in a little advertising once in a while, right? I got puppies to feed, so come and buy a couple lessons so I can feed my dogs. All right, so where were we? All right, so ticket list queue. And I am going to, let's see, customer ID. We're going to make this what we're going to click on to open up the ticket. So that's going to change to the ticket ID. All right, copy, paste. Next up after that is going to be, let's see, we got the created date. We've got the due date. We've got the description. That'll be bigger, of course. We've got the priority. We've got the status. And then I'll need one more for the customer. And the customer. Okay. Now, in a situation like this, I really hate layout view. I almost never use it. But There are situations where it's okay. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to close it. Be very careful with layout view if you have VBA code in your forms. I've seen it corrupt forms before. So open up the ticket list and you can see we need to change the layout here. All right, so right click, layout view. Now you can resize these things a little bit, right? Move that over. See how? Already. I'm just trying to slide that to the left, and it already ganked me. So come back in here. Be very careful. Let's see if I can. Yep, it's gonna be tough to. Yeah, no, okay. I don't like it. I don't like it already. I'm just gonna stick with this for resizing stuff. I don't like what it did already, so I'm gonna undo that. Undo, undo, undo. Okay, so you resize. Okay, I'm gonna go to design view. I'm telling you, I have bad luck with layout view. I really don't like it. Every time I try to move stuff around, it messes up on me. All right, so slide created date over. And let's see what that looks like now. Save it. Layout view. Okay, this can be smaller. Go down to about there. Okay, that looks good. Left align it. All right. In fact, I'm going to left align everything while I'm in here. Left, left, go left, go left, go left, right. Okay. Design view. Slide due date over. And again, see, it didn't move on the grid like I like. Oh, layout view. Like layout. I'm just going to make you the same size as this one. I almost got it. Got fat finger syndrome when it comes to this. Okay. Beautiful. Description's going to be nice and big. I'll probably have this wider. Priority and status will slide over here. And then the client can go out to the right. Okay, save it. Let's check layout view again. Not bad. That's not too bad. These could probably be a little bit shorter. So can this one. All right. Let's save it. Let's go back to design view. Be very careful with your layout view. See, it doesn't go to the grid. Come on, Microsoft. When you resize these in layout view, they should stick to the grid. Okay. I'm going to put that in my notes for Microsoft. Microsoft has a feedback page, by the way, now. There's the Microsoft's Access feedback portal. A lot of people have, stuff in here. Mike Wolf, by the way, he's got a great blog. I'll put a link to it down below. That's no longer set.com. I love reading his stuff. So there, I posted my feedback, so they have it. Okay, now we just got to change our labels around. Now, sometimes what I do, I've gotten lazy lately. I don't want to say if it's lazy or not, but efficient. We'll call it efficient. I do this with one label now a lot of the times. I'll do this. I'll go the ID for the ticket ID, then I'll just go space. Right? Created, space, due date, or just do. Do's fine. All right? Description. Easier than working with multiple labels. And then priority, status, and then the customer. See? It's a little bit of a pain if you got to move these things around, and you got to move the labels around, but just for this, it's fine. It works great. It's quicker to design it in the first place. Now, I don't want to open customer. I want to open ticket. All right, and I think this has a macro in it. So right-click, build event. Let's see. Yeah, I built this early on with the first blank one. So let's just get rid of it. I don't know. Goodbye. I don't like using those macros. I use them for the very, very beginner people, so I don't confuse them. But we're a little bit past that, right? So let's go into design. Drop a button down here. Okay. Cancel. Open ticket. Ticklet. Open ticklet. Is it like a chicklet? Open ticket. Now, right-click, build event. And, I forgot to name my button. It's Command 18, click. All right, stop. Go back. Alex is going to yell at us if we don't. Change the button name to open ticket button. All right, better. I always forget to do that. I leave it in my videos because I still, to this day, forget. I've been working with Access for almost 30 years. I still forget to do that. All right, build event. Do command dot open form. What am I opening? The ticket F, comma, 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 where condition, where the ticket ID equals ampersand ticket ID. That says the ticket ID on the ticket form is going to be the same as the ticket ID on this form, whatever record you're on. Okay, we're going to put the same code in this, all right, which is going to be in the double click event. I cover this in the invoicing video, I believe, or the blank, or the one of those invoicing video prerequisites. All right, ticket ID, double click. Look at it's the same as this stuff up here. Okay, I'm gonna actually get rid of this now. I got an if is null in there, exit sub. So if you're on a blank one, it doesn't try to open it. All right, so that's not a bad idea. Let's put that in here. Whoops. Put that right in here. If is null, ticket ID. Can't type today. Then exit sub. All right, and we'll put the same code in here, and I can actually delete this because we got rid of customer ID. All right, now I don't like having the same code in this in two different places. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it my own subroutine. Private sub open ticket. Now watch this. I'm going to take this code, put it in here. Okay, now in here, all I have to say is open ticket. See that? And I can recycle it. Watch this. Copy and then paste. See? Now I got open ticket in one spot. So now you don't want to maintain multiple sets of the same code in different places. All right, if you're going to use this same code in two different places, put it in its own subroutine. This is all stuff I cover in my developer level 1 class, my beginning introduction to VBA, right? All right, private sub this, private sub that, save it, come back out here. See, a little teeny tiny bit of programming makes your life so much easier. Want to open up this ticket here? Can't hear the computer's thoughts. All right, double click. Boom, there's your ticket. See, close that one. Open this guy up. Boom, there it is. Maybe I like to slide this one down just a little bit so you can tell it's kind of subordinate to this one. All right, open up ticket 1, double click. Boom. Boom. See? All right, one more thing to do. Actually, two more things to do. Let's throw a little conditional formatting in here. All right, let's open this one up. Actually, let's make a requery button too. There's a few things to keep into consideration. All right, so you're working on this ticket, right? Priority gets changed to high. All right, she's having a fit. Now, when you close this doesn't up. Oh, it did update. Okay, it doesn't always update. All right, in this particular case, it did. But if you come down here, for example, all right, open this one up, change this to urgent. All right, close it. All right, it happens to be changing in this case. Not always. So you might want a requery button down here. All right. And I show in other classes, I can show you how when you close one form to requery another one. But we'll just do a requery button. Copy, paste this button. Okay, let's change this to requery. Right, let's change the name. Give it a good name, requery button. Right click, build event, and it's just me.requery. That's it. Okay, me.requery. And that way, if you make major changes and things aren't updating, you can just requery it instead of having to close it and reopen it. And in fact, let's put a button on our main menu. Copy, paste, right? Button, button, button everywhere. Ticket list. Right click, build event. Do command, open form, ticket list F. That's all you need. Whoops, no single quote in there. Okay. Close the main menu, reopen it again. Ticket list. Boom. Open up this one. Boom. There you go. Change this to low. Close it. All right, it's updating. That's good. If not, hit the requery button. It'll requery this listing. You might not want the user to be able to add new ones from here. You might want to have them go into the customer's record first. So you can come in here and design view, open this up, change the data, allow additions, no, allow deletions, no for sure, allow edits, no. Okay, save that, close it, open it up. Now you can't add new ones. You can't make any changes in here. You got to go into the ticket. Okay. You can make it so you can double click on the customer too and open up the customer's record. That's easy to do. Design view. I like to make it so that any field you double click on does something. So I like to make it like this blue color, for example. So I'm going to use the format painter. Format paint. Paint over that. Whoop, like that. Now we don't have the customer ID on here. The customer ID wasn't brought in here. All right, it's not in the query. So let's go back to the query. This is our ticket list queue, design view. We'll have to add the customer ID. All right, save that. Now we can put the customer ID in here. Right click, design view. We might be able to get away without doing it, but to be safe, let's add it. Customer ID, we can drop it right down here in the bottom. All right, because we need it to open up the customer form. And I'm going to make this a hidden form, or a hidden field. So I like to make my hidden fields red. So in design view, I can see that it's a hidden field. And then I double click on it, make it visible. No. All right, save that. Now the double click event on this guy. Open it up. Event. Actually, it's text 17, isn't it? Yeah, we didn't change the names of these boxes, did we? Let's see. Nope. Status. Forgot a step. Nobody yelled at me. You guys got to raise your hands in the back of the class and yell at me. I never changed the names of these boxes. It doesn't matter, really, but it does. Because you don't want to be calling it in code later on and realize that, oh, it's the wrong field name. Copy. Paste. I changed all the control sources, but not the names. All right, so this event on double click right there, ... code builder if you have to, do command, open form, customer F, chameleon, right? Customer ID equals customer ID. All right, open the customer form where the customer ID on the customer form equals the customer ID on this form. That's why I had to have it. Had to have it on the form so I can pull it, so I can reference its value. And now I can do this. I can open up the ticket list and say, oh, let's go see Deanna Troy. Double click. Boom. Customer. Oh, let's add a new ticket for her. Boom. New ticket. Okay. Now we can filter this to say, let's see all of Richard Rost's tickets by right-clicking and going equals Richard Rost. Or we could put a button over here on, whoop, wrong one. We could put a button on the customer form to view his tickets. Right? Here we go. You ready? Copy, paste. View tickets. All right. How do we do that? Right click, build event, command 33. See, I always forget this. I'm going to leave it in the videos until I get better at doing it. So open it up. I'm going to annoy all of you because I can never remember to name my buttons. View tickets button. Okay, right click, build event. Let's try this again. Here we go. Do command, open form. What are we opening? The ticket list F, where the customer ID, so that's why I also wanted to put it on there, equals the customer ID on this form. I see a lot of people do this. They go me.customer ID. I saw it online somewhere. Yeah, you can. There's nothing technically wrong with that, but you don't need it. Why bother putting it on there? Me is assumed. And customer ID is a field on the current form, so why bother? The only thing you really need me for is properties. All right, me dot stuff usually is properties. Me dot caption, that's the caption of this form. Okay, usually controls you want to reference with that. Me dot first name, for example, or something like that. Okay, that's a whole different video. I got a bang versus dot video. I'll put a link to it down below if you really want to watch it. Yeah, the explanation point's called bang. But anyways, close this. Close this, close this. Ticket list. Go to a customer. Or go to a ticket. All right, this looks good. All right. Let's go to a customer. Actually, let's start from the customer list. Open up the customer. View their tickets. Boom. Isn't that pretty? There you go. There's the basics of it. Want to put a little conditional formatting in here? Right? Let's go back to the main ticket list. You can see the stuff, ticket list. You might want to sort this list by priority, by the way. So this is based on a query, right? Let's go to the query. Ticket list queue, design view. All right. Now we're going to sort by the priority ID, right? What do the priorities look like? So it's urgent is 4, low is 1. So let's sort this by priority ID in reverse order. So we're bringing priority ID now. And I'm going to bring the sort fields up to the front. Sort this in descending order. You could just put the sort in the form if you want to, but if the form is based on the query, it'll get that sort. See? Urgent, medium, low. And then we'll put a little conditional formatting in here. All right. Yeah, we can use priority to do the conditional formatting. That's fine. It's just if you change the word, then it gets tricky. So it's better to do the conditional formatting on the ID. So we need to bring the ID in here now too. So I'm going to copy this guy. It's going to be hidden. Copy, paste. Okay, open you up, and we're going to change this to the priority ID. Now, you're probably saying to myself, you're probably saying to yourself, how am I going to do the priority conditional formatting if the priority's down here? Well, we're going to use a weird kind of conditional formatting called expression-based. In other words, you put a little expression in here instead of basing it on the value that's in this field. I got a whole separate video on this too. I'll put a link to that video down below as well. But here's how you do it in a nutshell. Go to conditional formatting, click on your field, go to conditional formatting, new rule, okay? Instead of field value is, which is based on that field, right? I don't want to have it equal to the word urgent, because that's what's in that field, right? I want the number, because I might change the text later on in the table, and it'll break my conditional formatting. But that value will always stay the same. So go to expression is, and it's basically priority ID equals 4, okay? Then we'll go, let's say, red with white lettering, and we'll make it bold. But be careful. Watch what happens. Hit OK. It looks good. Expression is priority ID equals 4, right? That looks fine. Looks good, right? Save it. Close it. Take a look. And it's not working. Why? Well, conditional formatting always messes with you. It's just one more thing for it to do, I guess. See, look what it did. It put the word priority ID inside of quotes. We don't want that. We want this to be inside of brackets. I know I said you don't have to use brackets if you don't use spaces in your field names. 90% of the time, that's correct. With conditional formatting, it likes to mess with you. All right, now, priority ID is the field equals 4. Save it, close it, and boop, there you go. There's your urgent. Okay, and you can do medium and high and all the other ones. I'll just do one for high. Let's come back in here. Format, conditional formatting, right? New rule. Expression is priority ID equals 3. What do you want high to be? Let's do light red like that and bold. Hit OK. Looks good. All right. Might as well do the other ones too while we're in here. Expression is priority ID equals. We'll skip medium, which will be just regular white, then we'll go down to low, which will be 1, and we'll make this one like just gray. Now let's do white background. Let's do gray text. That's low. Okay. And they'll be applied in the order shown. So if you want this one to be evaluated first, whatever. That usually only happens if you have inequalities like greater than 100, that kind of stuff. Hit OK. Save it. Close it. Open it back up again. There you go. Urgent, medium, low. Let's see this medium one changes. Let's open it up. Let's change it to high. Close it up. Now it's formatting as high. That's kind of cool, right? And you can do the same thing if you want to give due dates in here. If you want to hide the stuff that's not active, whatever, you can come in here. Let's say that one of these guys is closed, right? You can put a filter on. Just say right-click, right, equals active to show me the active stuff. You want to sort it by date. You want to sort it by the customer. Whatever you want to do. The sky's the limit. In fact, in the extended cut with the members, I'll put a couple of little filter boxes up here to make it easier to do that kind of stuff. But there you go. There's your basic ticketing system. Right? That took us, what, about an hour to build? Not that bad. Right? Tickets, there's your ticket list. Open up a ticket. Come in here, type in what you got to type in. Right? More stuff. Bill them for another half an hour. Okay? When it's all done, you click the invoice button, and it invoices it and marks it closed. Or marks it invoiced. Okay? Which will do that in the extended cut, too. All right, so we've been working on this for about an hour now. We got something pretty respectable. I got a lot more I'm going to work on. It'll be in the extended cut for the members. And if you want to learn more about this kind of stuff, come to my website. If you want to learn more, I got a lot more in the extended cut. We're going to make printable tickets. Right? This guy over here, right? You can print it out. You can give it to the tech if he's got to go on the road. You can put the address on here if you want to. I didn't, but you can. Right? All the stuff that's been done previously. So we got it. Then we're going to assign it to employees. So you can put in here a list of employees and who is each one of these tickets assigned to. Right? So that person can then filter on his name and say, show me all of my tickets. Okay? Then we're going to do a filter by status box. You could drop this guy down, and you could pick, show me all the active ones. That'll be the default when you open it. Show me just the active ones. Show me the closed ones. Show me the escalated ones. Show me the ones that are invoiced. We're going to add an all option. This right here is worth the price of admission, folks. This all right? That's a crazy little trick. So we can put that in the table and have it actually show up so we can display all of these guys. Okay. Then we're going to have open to bill and hours show up in here in the customer list. So you can see this guy's got 1 open ticket. This guy's got 2 tickets we have to bill for, total of 4.5 hours. Okay. All of this in the extended cut for the members. It's 60 minutes long. A lot of my extended cuts are pretty long. Some of them are 5-10 minutes. Most of them are like half an hour. This one's an hour. Okay. Silver members and up get access to all of the extended cut videos. Gold members can download these databases that I build in these videos. And sometimes I do this with my extended cuts. I had more than an hour for the regular extended cut, so I made a bonus extended cut for the gold members. Right, I got silver, gold, platinum, right? Another half an hour. What I do is automatic billing. In other words, it takes all of the tickets that are in the system for all of the customers. You click one button, and it generates all of those invoices automatically. Right? You click the Do Billing button. It creates an order for each customer that has tickets in the system. Adds them all up, right? Line items are ticket 1, ticket 2, ticket 3. Here's your invoices, right? Another 30 minutes for gold members. So come on, sign up, become a member. You get access to all this stuff, all my extended cut videos. And gold members, in addition to the videos, can also download these database templates. So join up now. Oh, and one more thing. I know a lot of you have said to me that you want some of these templates that I build, but you don't want to sign up. You don't want to make a monthly commitment to become a member. That's fine. You'll also find this in the templates section of my website. Okay, so just go to the website, click on templates. It's right across the top. You'll find it there too. You can buy this as just a standalone template instead of making a commitment to become a member. But you can also sign up for membership for 1 month and cancel. There's no minimum month. You don't have to be a member for a year. You can just sign up for 1 month, download whatever you want, watch whatever videos you want for that month, and then just make sure you cancel before your month's up. That's it. Okay, thanks for watching. How do you become a member? Click on the Join button below the video. After you click the Join button, you'll see a list of all the different membership levels that are available, each with its own special perks. Silver members and up will get access to all of my extended cut tech help videos, 1 free beginner class each month, and more. Gold members get access to download all of the sample databases that I build in my tech help videos, plus my code vault, where I keep tons of different functions that I use. You'll also get a higher priority if you decide to submit any tech help questions to me, and you'll get 1 free expert class each month after you've finished the beginner series. Platinum members get all the previous perks, plus even higher priority for tech help questions, access to all of my full beginner courses for every subject, and 1 free developer class each month after you finish the expert classes. These are the full-length courses found on my website, not just for Access too. I also teach Word, Excel, Visual Basic, and lots more. You can now become a Diamond sponsor and have your name or company name listed on a sponsors page that will be shown in each video as long as you're a sponsor. You'll get a shout out in the video and a link to your website or product in the text below the video and on my website. But don't worry, these free tech help videos are going to keep coming. As long as you keep watching them, I'll keep making more, and they'll always be free. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and post any comments you may have. I do try to read and answer all of them as soon as I can. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, which is completely free, and click on the bell icon to select all to receive notifications when new videos are posted. Make sure you click the Show More link down below the video to find additional resources and links. You'll see a list of other videos, additional information related to the current topic, free lessons, and lots more. YouTube no longer sends out email notifications when new videos are posted, so if you'd like to get an email every time I post a video, click on the link to join my mailing list. Even if you don't want to become a member, feel free to donate to my tip jar. Your patronage is greatly appreciated and will help keep these free videos coming. I got puppies to feed. Now, if you have not yet tried my free Access Level 1 course, check it out now. It covers all the basics of Microsoft Access. It's over 4 hours long, and I just updated it for 2021. You can find it on my website or on my YouTube channel. I'll include a link below that you can click on. And also, if you like Level 1, Level 2 is just $1. Yep, that's all, $1, and it's free for all members of my YouTube channel at any level, even supporters. Want to have your question answered in a video just like this one? Visit my tech help page on my website. You can send me your question there. While you're on my site, feel free to stop by the Access Forum. Lots of good conversations happening there. Be sure to follow my blog, find me on Twitter, and of course, YouTube. Once again, my name is Richard Ross. Thank you for watching this Tech Help video brought to you by AccessLearningZone.com. I hope you enjoyed this video and that you learned something today. I'll see you again soon.